Hello, it's David Allen and you are watching Sporting Icons.
Right, look at this picture. What do you see? You see Joe Joyce looking okay in the face. Look at Tyson Fury. His forehead is bashed up. Now, a picture can tell the truth and the picture can tell 100 lies as well, of course. Now, what we do know is that Tyson Fury has been sparring Joe Joyce. We know that, and Joe Joyce is apparently very, very heavy-handed and full-on when it comes to sparring, okay? He don't play games in sparring. He comes to take your head off. Bermane Stiverne knows this. So many fighters know this about Joe Joyce. Now, Joe Joyce has only had a couple of professional fights. He is, of course, a Commonwealth heavyweight champion, and he has recently signed up to PBC with Al Heyman as well. He is still part of Haymaker, David Hayes' faction over here in the UK. But when he fights in America, he fights on the PBC cards. So, also with Joe Joyce, he's got a new trainer, Abel Sanchez. You guys know this already, or a lot of you will. Who's, of course, the trainer of Triple G, Gennady Golovkin, Murat Gassiev, and so on. And they reside in Big Bear, which is currently where Tyson Fury is having his training camp in preparation for Deontay Wilder. So, as I said, a picture can tell the truth. This could be that Joe Joyce has bashed up Tyson Fury. It could be. It could also be that a picture tells 100 lies. And it's very, very possible that's exactly what it is. A picture doesn't always tell the full story. But it's a little bit concerning because Tyson Fury is, his fighting style is hit and not be hit himself. Okay, that's how it is. But it is a boxing match, of course it is. And in sparring as well, I'm presuming that they're wearing head guards. I'm just presuming, of course. I know Tyson Fury doesn't like to sometimes. But again, even with head guards, when you've got head guards on and you've got the big gloves on, you don't really try to avoid the punches too much. You pretty much perfect that for the fight night when you really do need to avoid the big punches, okay? So also, if you've got the head guard on as well, head guards, if you guys haven't never put on a head guard, they're not the most comfortable things in the world. They do obscure your vision at times. And on the inside, whereas it's quite padded on the outside, on the inside, not always. Depends on the make, of course, as well. And where the stitching is. Because sometimes if there's like a little bit of rough stitching on there, you get hit on it and it's rubbing on your head, on your cheek, wherever it may be. So it could be a case of he's taken a few shots on the forehead while wearing the guard, because he's not really trying to avoid it too much. He's literally just having a fight, I suppose. And the stitching could well be I don't know, rubbing on his forehead. It could just be that. Okay, so obviously we don't know, but it is a little bit worrying because I think it's fair to say Deontay Wilder hits a lot harder than Joe Joyce, but Joe Joyce is a hell of a lot more skillful. A hell of a lot more skillful than Deontay Wilder. And Tyson Fury said that Deontay Wilder only has 2 punches to really be worried about, which is the left hook and, of course, the big right hand. But for me, I think it's 3 punches. Left hook, sure. Big right hand, sure. But also the big right wrist as well. He hits on the back of the head with the wrist. So, of course, if you go back just an inch or so, then you're getting hit with a glove. So it's a pretty good tactic from Wilder. It's illegal, but that's one of the things that he does. So Tyson Fury, again, getting bashed up in sparring. It's not the first time that we've seen Tyson Fury getting black eyes and whatever. In his last training camp while he was there for Pianeta, Dave Allen gave him a black eye. So again, we don't always see pictures from behind the scenes. We don't always see it, but we do know that Tyson Fury 2 days ago, his face looked perfectly fine. And now this picture's come out with Joe Joyce and his forehead looks like he's been hit by a bat. And as Tyson Fury's game is purely hit and not be hit, much like it was against Klitschko, that is a little bit of concern. Ultimately on the night, he'll be a lot more alert. He won't have a head guard, maybe obscuring his vision at times, if he was wearing a head guard, of course. And also in sparring, you don't worry about it too much because your opponent should really be pulling their punches at times. But Joe Joyce, as I said, he comes in there to take your damn head off. And that's exactly what Tyson Fury needs. So it's all right him getting bashed up in sparring if that is what's happened. We have had or heard stories before of Tyson Fury getting bashed up in sparring. In fact, many fighters get bashed up in sparring. But that's how you learn, so you don't get hit on the big stage. So some people will read a lot into it. Others will read not much into it. Because as I said, in sparring, you don't always avoid everything. You don't take it too seriously. You're not too worried about getting hit. Maybe this is one of the reasons. Or it's a case of his head guard was rubbing on his forehead. Who knows what it'd be. But as I said, with Tyson Fury, he leans back a lot. That's his fighting style. It's very, very rare you see Tyson Fury like bending forward to take a shot on top of the head. But that's what leads me to believe that he was actually wearing a head guard, and the head guard wasn't the best quality in the world. And maybe there was some kind of stitching or a little bit of something inside there that was rubbing off on his head every time he got hit. But that's got to give Wilder a bit of confidence when he looked at that, right? If I was Wilder, I'd be looking at that thinking, well, Joe Joyce doesn't have the fastest hands in the world. He is pretty powerful, but he is very skillful. But I hit harder than Joe Joyce, and I'm faster than Joe Joyce. So therefore, if Joe Joyce is landing off on Tyson Fury, if it was Joe Joyce, of course, we know Tyson Fury does have another couple of guys in the gym with him as well. But who knows? I think that this kind of pictures will give Deontay Wilder a bit of confidence. So, yeah, anyway. Or maybe Joe Joyce literally bashed him up. Joe Joyce has a reputation of bashing up people. Apparently he's bashed up Anthony Joshua in sparring, and Bermane Stiverne and many others. So maybe he literally has bashed up Tyson Fury in sparring. But ultimately, we'll have to wait and see, won't we? Drop your thoughts below, click that thumbs up, and of course subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.